they will turn you away. Don't go back to that restaurant. Italians will look at you like you just lost your mind. There are some things you should never do when visiting Italy. I've seen them all in my 21 years living here. They are faux pas, frowned upon, and in some cases will leave you lighter in your wallet and heavier in regret. And one involves an unwritten rule about dealing with street vendors and scammers and how most tourists, maybe even you, get totally wrong. I'll explain exactly how to handle it later in the video. For now, let's tiptoe our way around these little landmines so your trip isn't just beautiful, it's smooth, stress-free, and maybe even a little smug because you know what others didn't. Never buy water. Italy's cities are full of public fountains like these where you can fill your water bottle for free. Rome, Florence, Venice, some cities even have sparkling water dispensers. But most tourists still pay 2 to 3 euro for bottled water just steps away. So plan ahead, bring a bottle, and refill when you can. Look for signs, however, that might say acqua non potabile, means water's not drinkable. But most fountains like this, you're good to go. You do need to be careful about when you're drinking cappuccinos. No, hold on, I'll get to that. Never dress inappropriately for churches. Italian summers are hot, I get it. But if you want to get into places like St. Peter's, well, you need to dress modestly. So my advice, carry with you a scarf or some sort of light cover. That way you're good to go. Smaller churches may be more relaxed and let you in, but the big ones, they will turn you away. Quick bonus one to avoid, never do the horse and carriage. Really bad for the horse, especially in these hot summers. And on dressing, the other day I was looking out my window and I saw this couple walk by, beautiful girl, wearing what looked to be a red satin silk dress, short mini skirt type shorts, look like a nightie you could buy at Victoria's Secret. Please, have some class when you're walking around the city centers. This isn't a nightclub or a beach resort. If that gets you agitated and you want to drop some negative comments below, well, wait until I talk about punctuality in Italy. Taxi! Never hail a taxi on the street. In New York, you wave. In Italy, you wait at a taxi stand. But most tourists wander aimlessly, hoping to flag down a taxi. So, head to a taxi stand. You see a sign right here, orange and black lettering, it says taxi. There, you can find a taxi and you wait for a taxi. Or at your hotel, receptionist, have them call you one. But be warned, taxis in Italy ain't cheap. So use public transportation, it'll save you a ton. Sì, ma dove sei? È già passato 15 minuti. Never expect punctuality. An Italian says 10 a.m., they show up at 10:20. But that's not personal, that's just the rhythm here, like it or not. So expect trains, buses, and tours to run late. And yes, strikes happen. So on your big travel day, or if you have big plans on one day, build in a buffer time and you'll save your sanity. Never assume locals speak English. In big cities with younger people, you might get lucky, but if you go off the beaten path, which I recommend you do, to those smaller towns with older generations, not so much. Don't expect them to speak your native tongue. So what I recommend is learn a few phrases, the basics, hello, or good morning, buongiorno, please, per favore. Or, I don't speak Italian. Non parlo italiano. Oh, ma che c***o fai? Trying a little bit will earn you a lot of respect. Never rely on just one credit card. Most small shops, even if you go in for a €1 cafe, they'll take a credit card. I did it the other day, used the credit card that's on my watch. Deep, paid, sipped, out of there. But small markets, small newsstands, gelaterias, those bathrooms that you find in the city centers, they want cash. So always carry with you some euros, maybe even some spare coins in your pocket. That way you have it and you're ready to go and you're not caught in a pinch. Now, what do I mean by not relying on just one credit card? Well, if you're out and about and that credit card gets stolen, it might be handy to have another one from another bank in your bag back at your lodging. Or if you're finding out your one credit card doesn't work abroad, maybe the other one from a different bank will. Recently, my brother-in-law, when visiting, had that problem. He was trying to pull out money from a bank machine. And on the subject of cash machines, don't go for the airport exchange booths. You're gonna get a much worse rate there. Wait until you get into the city center. Go to the post office. They have the best exchange rate. They also have the best ATM, what they're called here a bankomat. That's where you can withdraw cash. Avoid the ones that say ATM. Try to go to the bank machines that are associated with an actual bank. Never accept their conversion, it's not as good. Say no, your home bank will do the exchange and you'll get the better rate. And you usually have to pay €2 to €5 every withdrawal. Never overthink tipping. Tipping in Italy isn't like it is in the US, and thankfully so. It's often included in the price of your dinner or your lunch. Servizio inclusivo. But some cities, some restaurants now have it sneaking in as a tip option on the credit card payments. Ignore them. Say no. Some waiters, and you'll see it in the big cities like Rome, will mention tipping. Ignore them. In fact, don't go back to that restaurant. So, leave €1 to €2 if the service was good. Don't make a show of it and ignore the guilt screen. Oh, it goes way beyond tipping. Our food odyssey continues. Stick with me.
Grazie.
Grazie. Never order cappuccino after 11. Some Italians will insist it's just tradition. Others will preach it like gospel, the cappuccino curfew. But the idea is that it's a milk-based drink and it's like a meal itself. In fact, Italians treat a cappuccino like breakfast. So they wouldn't have breakfast 2 to 3, 4 times a day. That would be crazy. Yeah, I'm a little crazy sometimes. I wouldn't get caught out in public having a cappuccino after 11 a.m. They might take away my Italian passport. So, if you must, order a cafe macchiato. It's not what it is in the United States. It's like a little mini cappuccino. Perfect. Whatever you do, don't order cappuccino along with your lunch or dinner, along with your plate of pasta or pizza. Italians will look at you like you just lost your mind. And if you must have a cappuccino after your dinner or after your lunch, for God's sake, don't order it in the same place where you just had your pizza or pasta. Pay for that, walk around the corner, find another coffee bar. There are millions of them in Italy, and order it there in secrecy, in private where no one can see you. If you want to be a big boy, order a caffè corretto. Don't ask what it is, just order it. Never cross the street, even if there's a crosswalk, without looking both ways. Drivers treat them as optional. In fact, maybe in the Italian Constitution, they are optional. I don't know, we'll have to look that up. But if you step out too quickly, a driver may clip you. They're not used to always slowing down at the crosswalk. So, Look both ways and then proceed with caution. You don't want your vacation ended early. Never go in unprepared. Italy rewards planners. Think of the 7 P's. Proper planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. But show up at the Last Supper or the Uffizi Art Gallery without tickets, well, you might not get in. So book those major attractions, those must-see spots, maybe the dinner places that you want to try that your friends back home have told you about. Book those places in advance. My pro tip, the Gregor Brown pro tip, leave yourself flexibility in your schedule, but book those cornerstone items like the Statue of David at the Accademia or the Last Supper in Milan or the Vatican tour. Book those places months in advance. In fact, you have to do it that way. Don't get caught out. Never, listen to me, never insult Italian food customs. Want to sprinkle Parmesan on your seafood pasta? Use a knife and fork to cut your spaghetti? But doing so breaks the unwritten rules of Italian cuisine. So learn to twirl your pasta with your fork, don't use a spoon. Use the bread to soak up the sauce, fare la scarpetta, and enjoy food dishes as they come. No carbonara, but hold the pork recipe, a request from the kitchen. Don't do that. Comment down below. Let me know right down in the comments. What's that #1 dish you're looking forward to trying when you land here in Italy? Let me know. Also, I hear it from some of you, if you're saying it, well, I'm coming to Italy, I'm paying my hard-earned money to travel there, to visit these places. I'll order the damn food how I want to order it. But doing so, you're going against all those customs and traditions and little quirks that makes this country so great, that separates Italy from Idaho. Never expect 24-hour service. Oh, I'm hungry, let me just go grab a snack. In the US, you can do that at any time in the day. Or Southeast Asia, I love it. There's always a 7-Eleven or Food Mart right down there on the corner to get your fix. But in Italy, it's traditional. They go by standard food hours. You're not gonna find a shop open past 9 p.m. The grocery stores close around that time, so if you need a bottle of water or something afterwards, you're out of luck. Restaurants stick to traditional hours, say 12 to 3 p.m. for lunch, and for dinner, 6:30, maybe the earliest 6. You're not gonna get dinner at 5 p.m. 6:30, all the way up until 10, maybe midnight in Rome and Naples. So plan ahead. Plan to eat like the locals eat, when the locals eat. You'll enjoy it. That's la dolce vita, the food. It's all about that in Italy. If you're hungry outside of those hours, you can grab a small sandwich from a coffee bar and go in there and get it at the counter and get a quick cafe macchiato. But outside of those hours, from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m., you're out of luck. Never eat and drink on the go. Italians savor food, sitting down, standing at the bar, not walking with it through the city streets. But gelato, well, gelato's the exception. So slow down. Sit down at that little quaint restaurant. Enjoy, savor the food. This isn't the United States where you need to rush everything, always on the go, and not appreciating the plate of goodness right in front of you. If all these rules sound like too much and you're saying, it's too complicated, too many rules to travel around Italy, well, don't worry, I got you covered. Stick with me. Never over spritz it. Aperol spritz with dinner, but that's not the vibe. 5 to 8 p.m. at aperitivo hour, everyone's sipping on those red drinks. When Italy truly comes alive, that's when you enjoy it. So save it for then. Pair it with some snacks. Enjoy the light conversation with other tourists or Italians as the world goes by. Then at dinner, Enjoy a beer or wine or water as the Italians do it. If you think all this is too much, I hear you. Remember I said that I have your solution? Never try to do too much. Rome, Florence, Venice, Cinque Terre, Naples in 7 days? But doing so will leave you exhausted and everything will blur together in one distant memory. You'll come home needing a vacation from your vacation. So slow it down, 2 to 3 cities max, downtime baked in. If you want a guide that can help you navigate everything, well, I made Italy Unlocked, a PDF e-guide that you can download, have on your pocket, in your phone for when you're ready to visit Italy or for when you're here on the ground. Has everything in there. This is new, fresh, hot off the press. 50 pages thereabouts, 20 years of experience thereabouts, all jammed in there. Detailed information on airports, what you need to know about renting a car, my personal restaurant recommendations from cities all the way up in Milan to way down south in Rome. Some of my favorite hotels tucked away in the vineyards, Google links for all those. Detailed itineraries, about 4 or 5 different ones, and what you need to know about staying safe and avoiding scammers. All jammed in there. Italy Unlocked, link in description. Never be too touristy or silly. Remember at the start of this video, I said there's that unwritten rule on how to deal with street vendors and scammers. From friendship bracelets to fake petitions, scammers target the distracted, but stopping just to be polite will just get you into a trap. You see a sea of people in the city centers trying to give you a free bracelet or sell their paintings displayed out on the ground. It's terrible, and they want to get your tourist dollars. So decide your approach in advance. Ignore them completely, firmly decline them, or politely walk away. Confidence ends conversation faster than any way possible. Earlier in the video, we talked about how these nevers will make your trip smoother, more enjoyable. But what if I told you there's a country in Europe that takes everything you love about this continent, the food, the history, the landscape, and churns it up to 11. So I want you to watch this video next, where I show you why Italy is the best country to visit in all of Europe. I even take you to some of my off the beaten track regions and towns throughout the country. Just watch it there next, while Italy is the best European country to visit. See you there.